So in the previous video, we saw the teams who obviously haven't won a playoff game or series since the 2000s, but those who have finally ended their playoff drought in the 2020s have succeeded so far. So come on, let's get happy this time. So today we're going to look at 11 sports teams who finally ended their playoff win drought in the 2020s so far. Number 11, the Miami Marlins. Ah, yes, sure. The Marlins, why are they even on this list? Oh, yeah, because the last time they made the playoffs was 2003 when they won the World Series. But other than that, the Marlins are just a laughingstock in the MLB. They missed the playoffs every year from 2004 to 2019. And the last winning season before 2020, 2009. Yes, trading their best players and open a new ballpark, rebrand to the Miami Marlins until the year of COVID in 2020. The Marlins made the playoffs and beat the Cubs in the wild card round before losing to the Braves in the next round. They made the playoffs again in 2023, but guess what? They're bad again. The San Diego Padres. The Padres last won a playoff series was in 1998 before losing to the New York Yankees in the World Series. They made the playoffs again in 2005 and 2006, but the last time they won a playoff game, 2006. Because they missed the playoffs every year from 2007 to 2019. It was tough with the Giants' dynasty of sorts. The Padres haven't depended on much talent until when they got Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. In 2020, they ended their playoff drought, winning a playoff series for the first time since 1998 and their first playoff win against the Cardinals in the National Wildcard round, before losing to the Dodgers in the NLDS. And now they've made the playoffs 3 times in the 2020 so far, and could be one of the biggest teams in MLB for years to come. Next up, the Cleveland Browns. Their last playoff win was in 1994 before the Browns were inactive when they relocated to Baltimore. But when they came back in 1999, they were just embarrassing to watch. They made the playoffs in 2002, but lost to the Steelers in the wild card round. In their last winning season, 2007, they were this close to making the playoffs. Because from 2008 to 2019, the Browns had a losing season every year. Until 2020, the Browns ended their playoff drought going 11-5 and beating the Steelers in the wild card round before losing to the Chiefs in the divisional round. They have now made the playoffs twice, and hopefully the future in Cleveland can look bright. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their last playoff win was in 2002 when they won the Super Bowl against the Raiders with John Gruden. And after winning the Super Bowl, they made the playoffs twice, but lost both to those games in the wildcard round. Because after that, the Browns missed the playoffs every year from 2008 to 2019. Until Tom Brady came around in free agency in 2020 after leaving the New England Patriots to sign with them. They made the playoffs for the first time since 2007 They made the playoffs again for the first time since 2007, beat the Washington football team, the Saints in the divisional round, and the Packers in the NFC Championship game, and winning the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And they've made the playoffs every year from 2020 to 2024 so far. So good to know, Tampa Bay. The future has been bright again. And everything has been going well for the Bucs. The dysfunction is over for now. Buffalo Bills. Their last playoff win was in 1995. After that, They lost to the Steelers in the divisional round and made the playoffs 3 more times. After the 1999 wildcard loss to the Titans, the Bills missed the playoffs every year from 2000 to 2016. The Bills made the playoffs again in 2017, ending the playoff drought, but lost to the Jaguars in the wildcard round. They made the playoffs again in 2019, but lost to the Texans in the wildcard round. Until 2020, when acquiring Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, and coach Sean McDermott beat the Colts in the wildcard round before beating the Ravens in the divisional round before losing to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And basically one of the biggest teams in the 2020 so far. And all they need to do is just win the Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals' last playoff win was in 1990. And after that, they missed the playoffs every year from 1991 to 2004. They made the playoffs in 2005, 2009, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, but lost all of those playoff games because they kept head coach Marvin Lewis 10 years too late, wasting all the great years with Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson, Anthony Dalton, AJ Green. But until when Joe Burrow, head coach Zach Taylor, and rookie receiver Jamar Chase, they made the playoffs in 2021, beating the Raiders in the wildcard round, giving them their first playoff win since 1990. Making it all the way to the Super Bowl before losing to the Rams. They made the playoffs again in 2022 before losing to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And if Joe Burrow could just step it up and just get over the playoff hump, the Bengals can win a championship. The Seattle Mariners. Yes, the Mariners last won a playoff series and a playoff game were both from 2001. Because after that, the Mariners missed the playoffs every year from 2002 to 2021. The Mariners finally ended their playoff drought in 2022, beating the Toronto Blue Jays in the wildcard round, giving them their first playoff win and first playoff series win since 2001. But now, they missed the playoffs twice so far, but hopefully when the Houston Astros struggle comes, maybe the Mariners can finally rule the AL West for once. The Minnesota Twins. Oh yeah, you all know how painful it is to go through this. The Twins last won a playoff series was 2002, and their last playoff win, 2004. And they were sometimes always by the Yankees. After 2004 winning the playoff game in Game 1, the Twins got swept by the Yankees. And after 2004, the Twins made the playoffs 6 more times and played in 15 more postseason games. Until 2023, with manager Rocco Baldelli, Royce Lewis, Pablo Lopez, Carlos Correa, and a very nice core of the Twins finally able to beat the Blue Jays and finally not play the Yankees anymore. The Twins beat the Blue Jays in the wildcard round, giving them their first playoff win since 2004 and their first playoff series win since 2002, before losing to the Astros in the ALDS. But other than that, it was still one of the biggest moments in my life, especially as a Twins fan. It definitely means something special to me, and I really am glad I got to see that because I've really been waiting for this. The Detroit Lions. The last time the Lions won a playoff game was in 1991. And that was during the Barry Sanders days. when they beat the Cowboys in the divisional round before losing to Washington in the NFC Championship game. Because after 1991, the Lions made the playoffs in the 90s 5 times, but lost all of those playoff games. Then they missed the playoffs every year from 2000 to 2010. But when Matthew Stafford and Dominican Sue, Calvin Johnson came around, they finally felt good about where they were going. They made the playoffs 3 times, but lost all of those playoff games to the Saints, Cowboys, and Seahawks. And then when they traded Matthew Stafford, it was back to the lab again. However, with QB Jared Goff, Amon St. Brown, and head coach Dan Campbell, in 2023, the Lions finally won a playoff game against the Rams in the wildcard round. Then beating the Bucs in the divisional round before losing to the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. And the Lions are one of the biggest teams for years to come. Our runner-up, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes, the Timberwolves' last winning playoff series was 2004, and their last playoff win, 2004, during the Kevin Garnett days, where they made the Western Conference Finals. Because after that, the Timberwolves were hard to watch. They missed the playoffs every year from 2005 to 2017. But when they got Karl-Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, and Andrew Wiggins, the Timberwolves ended their 14-year playoff drought. But when Jimmy Butler requested the trade, the Timberwolves collapsed and were starting losing games again and missing the playoffs. However, with Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, and Cat, the Timberwolves made the playoffs in 2022, 2023, and 2024. However, in 2024, the Timberwolves ended their playoff series drought, winning against the Phoenix Suns, sweeping them in 4 games, advancing to the next round against the Denver Nuggets, in which the Timberwolves started off strong until losing the next 3 games, and then won the next 2, advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years. And as a Timberwolves fan, it was really fun to see, especially when your team has sucked that long, and all of a sudden you just become irrelevant again. And now I just want to see the Timberwolves win a championship soon. And I gotta say a shout out to Anthony Edwards though. And number 1, the Washington Commanders. Yes, we'll just call them Washington back in the past because we can't say the team name. Because that would be, we can't. The Commanders' last playoff win was in 2005, where they beat the Bucs in the wildcard round before losing to the Seahawks in the divisional round. Washington made the playoffs in 2007, 12, 15, and 2020 4 more times until 2024, when Dan Snyder, he was a horrible owner, sold the team to Josh Harris, and the Commanders, with Jayden Daniels, Coach Dan Quinn, the Commanders finally won their first playoff game since 2005 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the wildcard round on a field goal that almost didn't like it was going in. They upset the Detroit Lions in the division round before losing to the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, who recently just won the Super Bowl. But other than that, Washington, the future is bright. So, yep, just be glad Dan Snyder's gone and Josh Harris is your new owner. So Washington, the future is finally bright again. What other teams who have won a playoff, who ended their playoff drought so far? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new, hey, welcome. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.